Yeah, I know that. And I'm gonna share that once we publish this interview, because I think it's very heartfelt, but it really got me thinking.
I'd be interested to know what it was too.
Yeah, I'll let you know. But it got me thinking about lot of the things that you taught me and the things that I embraced in our conversations. One of which is that, hey, obviously we're conditioned as a society, and the more conditions we become as individuals, it really distorts what we see and what we hear and what we bring in. And I know this all goes back to the traps of our mind. So I'm curious for you, what do you do to create the space in your mind where you do filter out all the shit so you allow the truth to come in?
No, it's not a real question, because there's nothing to know. There's no way that I can begin to answer that question, because there's nothing that I do to do anything. So there's nothing, and that's what I mean. Like, you are bringing conventional thinking, like how do you make a pair of shoes, to something that in which those things have no value. They have no relevance. They have no meaning. You can't bring that into this domain, because that currency doesn't work. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything to do anything.
So let me try to come at it from another angle. When you get a persistent thought pattern, all right, for example, from an athletic standpoint, if an athlete keeps coming up short, either in the last inning or in the last hole or whatever, your mind starts to play games with you, that you're not good enough to either play at this level, or you don't deal with pressure very well. When those persistent thought patterns are coming up, what is it telling you?
The person knows best if he's willing to look.
And when somebody keeps coming up short and continue to do the same thing, and he's not looking.
You see, what you're not understanding, you're basically asking the question that, let's say there's a teaspoon of whatever, a medicine.
Honey.
Okay. And if the person takes the honey, right, then that provides him some insight. Okay. What you're asking me is, what do you do if the person won't take the honey? I don't care if he takes the honey. And if I will generally see in the first encounter, before I even decide if I'm going to work with him or not, that if he is the type in which I'm going to have any trouble. So it's never going to get to that point that he's not taking the honey, and I have to find a way to convince him to take the honey. I don't care if he takes the honey.
Yeah, I know you don't.
There's nothing that I want to say. Like, I don't need him to take the honey. So you said, what if he's not willing to look? Okay, then don't look. It has nothing to do with me. Like you imply, and I don't blame you for implying it, because every single
That's why I love these conversations.
No, because every single thing that you are saying does in fact go on. I don't blame you for saying it, but I think you would know better by now than to bring dirty laundry into here, because you're right. The coaches will try to find a way to get him to eat the honey, right? I don't care if he eats the honey. I'm so averse to even talking to someone in the first place that convince someone to do something.
Yeah, that's not in your vocabulary.
No, it isn't. It's not it isn't a stance that I take. It isn't a principle of mine. It isn't a rule that I stand by. I just, very innocently, I'm just not interested.